topic that everybody wants to talk about. America's real true pastime, favorite pastime. That is the National Football League. The NFL announced its schedule 2 days ago. I just love watching all the games get leaked on Twitter. It was very fun. Waking up to see the group chat. Bang put a new game in the chat. Mikey put a new game in the chat. I'm like, okay, let me see what my fall travel schedule gonna look like. It was coming all together, but pretty much what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over the big games. We're gonna go over some of the national TV games and just kind of get an overall opinion. We talked about the NFL season opener on Monday, but Courtney was not here, so I wanted to get her opinion on it. Thursday night, I think it's September 5th. The Kansas City Chiefs will begin their road to the three-peat at home, getting their banners against league MVP, two-time MVP, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, in a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Courtney, what you think about that matchup to start it off?
Yeah, I think that one's pretty exciting. Good way to start the season. I really kind of maybe would have preferred to see that Friday game, that Packers-Eagles game on Thursday, but obviously the champs got to play first. So I like it. I am curious to see how Derrick Henry plays, though. I know in I think 3 out of their last 5 matchups that Derrick Henry was held to less than 100 yards, including that 2020 AFC Championship game. So I'm curious to see how he does. Listen, I'm not saying that if he doesn't do well, then, it's a bust and call it. It's week 1. Lots of fluke things and adjustments are still being made in week 1. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Can't wait to see it.
Definitely. You might not say it's a bad trade, but Twitter will. Twitter will. As soon as that happens, look out for they got 2 running backs tweets.
Yeah.
When Pat drops 3 touchdowns this year. But let's go into the rest of the games for week 1, the primetime games for week 1, like you just mentioned, Courtney. The first ever Brazil game, Friday night football, under the lights in Brazil. It will be the Ops, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love got to prove it to me again. I'm sorry. I'm not buying year 1. I'm not prove it to me again, nigga. And we're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and those guys over there. I am excited to see this just because this is going to sound crazy. As a fan, I don't really care about player safety. Like I do, but I really don't. I care about my personal entertainment more than anything. And a Friday night football is just music to my ears. So I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup. The Packers are getting a lot of national TV. I won't say national TV. I think the word they use standalone games. One of my people told me standalone games. They get a lot of standalone games. We're gonna really see if Jordan Love's what people think he is. He had a great year last year. His year last year would have been the best passing season in Chicago Bears history. I'm not trying to talk bad about him any more than I would any Packer quarterback. But year 2, we gonna really see. We got a lot. We got a whole 17 games and 2 playoff games worth of film and really see if you like that. Going against the Eagles is gonna be a good one. Then we got Sunday night football. I thought it was gonna be Bears Lions Sunday night football. I'm actually surprised the Bears only have 5 standalone games. We'll talk about that in the local hour. But it will be a rematch of last year's playoff game between the Rams and the Lions. Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit again. And then Monday Night Football, look, Courtney's Jets and the Niners.
Courtney's Jets. Courtney's Jets. We're back.
What do we have change?
You guys must have missed.
Oh, it's not your Jets anymore?
Broncos country.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well,
Let's ride.
Okay. Oh,
Literally.
Excuse me.
Literally. Let's ride.
Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that.
Yeah.
Courtney's Broncos then. But the NFL obviously didn't learn their lesson last year, is they are putting 7 standalone games on Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. This will be the first of 7 Monday Night Football in the Bay Area, Jets and Niners. I think these are all really 4 games. And if you want to talk game of the week, I didn't put it on here. But game of the week, Tom Brady's debut as an announcer will be the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. I think these are 5 exciting games. I'm not going to be able to see all of these because I'm going to be at Soldier Field watching the barn burner between the Bears and the Titans. But I think these are good games to get the season started. But I think there's way too many Jets games on this. Courtney, what do you think about this week 1 primetime slate?
I am probably most excited for that Monday night football game, that Niners-Jets game. But I agree with you. I think the NFL is really leaning into the Jets, and I don't, for the record, I don't wish injury on anybody. I would never do that. That's bad karma.
Except for him.
But it would be the opportunity for the funniest thing ever to happen is right there.
Leonard Floyd is on the Niners.
Yeah, the opportunity is right there, and yeah, I'm kind of over it already. I don't know why they're so obsessed. I don't know if it's maybe because he was in the same. He maybe represents like the last of the older quarterbacks. I don't know if that's what it is, because I'm like, there's no way y'all are getting this charged up about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm over it. I'm over it already, and the season hasn't even started. It's May, and I'm over it.
I think Jets fans are over it because we saw Mike Greenberg, Greeny, on Get Up. He had a fit when he found out how many primetime games the Jets had. Rich Eisen had a fit, said that you're tempting football fate. Shout out my guy, Steph, massive Jets fan. Text me, why did they do this to us? So I think the Jets fans are fed up with it as well. But, Bang, what you think about the primetime slate for week 1?
Hey man, NFL doing a little bit too much. They putting a little bit too much dip on their chip. They feeling themselves a little bit. They know they the biggest, strongest game in town right now. Don't mess it up, and don't mess it up by putting the damn Jets. Come on, the Jets for real. And I saw a quote from one of the league officials said they feel like the Jets owe us. So that's why they have those.
Yeah, so it was Mike North, the guy who puts the schedule together with Roger Goodell.
That's dumb as hell. Like, the Jets owe you for what? Fuck, the Jets owe you? No, the Jets owe us for always being in these situations and not succeeding in it. But yeah, they tempted fate a little bit, but at the same time, you can do that when you're in the NFL. But the game I'm looking forward to is the first game of the year anyway. You know, seeing Pat versus Lamar, first game of the year, feels like you kicking the year off with playoff atmosphere. It feels like the first episode of a show on HBO. It feels like you're about to get the cliffhanger as soon as the season starts. Don't really care about the Jets. That whole Brazil thing, I only really care about it because it is Brazil, and you're gonna be able to see some very, very nice stings. In those stands.
Understatement.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I wish I was going to that game.
Send
the Bears to Brazil, please, Roger. Send the Bears to Brazil.
Yeah, send the Bears.
Speaking of Brazil, the only qualm that I have that I think is kind of unfair to a degree is that it's technically a home game for Philadelphia. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. I don't like that.
If I had sympathy for Philadelphia sports fans, I would feel bad.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
I mean, that the Lions-Rams game, I think the Rams are going to be one of those teams that's disappointing. So that's not necessarily.
Yeah, can they stop trying to make the Stafford revenge tour happen?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was cool, like, for that one game last season, but like, why are we trying to force that?
Right, trying to force
that.
It's
McVay. It's McVay.
Terms, like, each team is happy with the results and the outcome from like how that little swap impacted the other. Like, I don't know why we're trying to force this.
I'm telling you, Bears Lions would have moved the needle a lot more. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Bears fan. Caleb Williams making his debut at home Sunday Night Football against the team that won the division.
That would have been great ratings.
Yeah.
It would have made a lot more sense. So really, out of these games right here, the one game that I'm looking forward to is the game that's just going to kick off the year. The Jets and the Niners. No, I expect the Niners to destroy the Jets. I feel like this is going to be a homecoming game for them. So, because I don't trust that offensive line, that makeshift offensive line that the Jets got. So I expect Aaron Rodgers to go to God that game.
What Dre Greenlaw, Bosa, and them boys are finna do to that Achilles and that offensive line, which ain't been fixed. God bless.
And here's the
the left tackle.
Right, because Tyron Smith is their left tackle, I think it is, right? So, and he's off injured, so he might not even finish the game. But here's the one thing that I want everybody to pay attention to, and I don't give a damn if we're in the world of modern science or not. anytime we seen a quarterback tear their Achilles, they ain't the same when they come off of that shit. So we're looking at two quarterbacks, I guess you'd say top 15 quarterbacks that's coming off Achilles injuries, and Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. Last time I saw a quarterback, a top 10 quarterback tears Achilles, that motherfucker was never the same. And that's Dan Marino. So it remains to be seen if the practice tape that you see from these guys from the social media, the great social media talents on these teams, it remains to be seen if you're really going to see that once it is full speed. And that's another reason why I would not put Aaron Rodgers in primetime.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, no, I disagree on the Lions-Rams game. Like, I don't think it's about the angle. I think it's just two really good teams. And, you know, Sean McVay, one thing we know, he's going to coach his ass off. So it's going to be entertaining from an offensive standpoint. The whole Aaron Rodgers thing is weird to me because I think it's to the point now where it's kind of like how Money Mayweather was at the end of his career, where Roger Goodell knows people fucking hate Aaron Rodgers, but they still going to tune in to watch. Like, whether they rooting for him or against him, mainly a lot of people now rooting against him, they still gonna tune in and watch. So that matchup makes sense. Packers and Eagles, the Brazil thing is just further proof that, you know, the NFL really can't be stopped at this point. Like, it's just a matter of if, not when, and then where they want to expand, because they can do whatever they want to do. So, you know, hopefully those teams keep them boys out the brothels down there, you know, keep everybody's head on straight. And it'll be a good game. Chiefs Ravens, we talked about that last week, bro. I think that'll be a decent game, but every time we count out Pat and say, oh, well, you know, the Ravens got something for them. One is week one, so if they do win, it don't mean shit. But two, this is usually the time Pat gonna drop, like you said, 3 touchdowns, 325 on them. And then we sitting here with the same stupid look we have on our face every time we doubt the Chiefs.
Yeah, who's we?
Most of us. I did it a couple times. I'm done.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, y'all niggas did not me.
I don't want to see the Lions, and I don't want to hear Eminem out.
That paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna